Listen, if you're tired of the same old beast and monster talk, then let's get into a script. That sounds like a total psychological blackout. This is for the 2026 Honda Fury ABS, a bike that doesn't just ride, it commits a visual felony every time it touches the pavement. The 2026 Honda Fury ABS isn't a motorcycle, it's a high-velocity hallucination that just broke out of a high-security lab. Ride Radar is standing in the shadow of a machine, so fundamentally disturbed that it makes every other custom cruiser look like a desperate cry for help. We are talking about an architectural lobotomy. Honda took the DNA of a traditional chopper, stripped away its soul, and replaced it with a cold, calculating 312cc adrenaline injection system. If you're looking for a polite commute, go buy a toaster. This machine is a jagged piece of industrial shrapnel, designed to pierce the ego of everyone you pass. Look at that rake, it's so unnaturally stretched. It feels like a glitch in the Matrix, a 32-degree angle of pure, unadulterated arrogance. The front wheel isn't just leading the way, it's scouting the territory for a total, hostile takeover of the asphalt. Most manufacturers are terrified of geometry this radical, but the 2026 Fury leans into the chaos with a wheelbase so long, it practically has its own zip code. Ride Radar has seen bikes that try to look mean, but this is the first time a production bike has looked genuinely sociopathic, staring down the horizon with a predatory stillness that feels like a threat. The V-twin heart of this thing doesn't just thump. It's a rhythmic mechanical execution. Each stroke of the piston feels like a heavy-duty industrial press, crushing the silence into 1,000 pieces. We've heard loud pipes before, but the 2026 Fury has a frequency that feels like it's reorganizing your internal organs. While you sit at a red light, it's a low-frequency sonic assault that vibrates in the back of your skull, making you feel less like a rider and more like a pilot of a weaponized earthquake. This isn't engineering, it's a controlled explosion that Honda somehow convinced a government agency was legal to sell. The ABS on this 2026 model is the ultimate gaslight. It makes you believe you're invincible. You can dive into a corner with the kind of suicidal confidence that should land you in a hospital. But the sensors intervene with a surgical precision that's almost insulting. It's like having a digital God mode enabled. You hammer those brakes and the bike just anchors itself into reality, refusing to skid, refusing to flinch, and refusing to let you fail. Ride Radar knows that safety usually sounds boring, but when it's wrapped in a frame this sharp, it's just another tool for total, reckless domination. Let's address the hidden radiator, because it's a piece of engineering witchcraft that should be studied in a basement somewhere. Honda managed to bury the liquid cooling plumbing so deep into the frame's marrow that the bike looks like an ancient, air-cooled fossil from the 70s. It's a masterpiece of visual deception, a high-tech, liquid-cooled powerhouse masquerading as a raw skeletal metalwork. This lack of clutter creates a negative space that feels like a vacuum, sucking the air out of the lungs of anyone who tries to figure out how it's even functioning. It's clean, it's cold, and it's absolutely haunting. The ergonomics of the 2026 Fury ABS are an invitation to total, postural defiance. You don't sit in this seat. You drop into a 26-inch deep canyon of leather and steel, placing your center of gravity somewhere near the Earth's core. Your fists are shoved into the wind, like you're ready to punch a hole through the atmosphere, and your feet are stretched out in a position that screams, "I own this lane and everything in it." Ride Radar is telling you the moment you settle into this saddle, your heart rate doesn't go up. It goes cold. You aren't part of traffic anymore. You're the obstacle everyone else is terrified to touch. The paintwork on this year's model doesn't just shine, it absorbs the light and refuses to give it back. It's a deep obsidian finish that looks like it was poured straight out of a black hole, accented by chrome that is polished to a lethal edge. There's a forbidden energy here, a sense that the 2026 Fury was built for people who don't ask for permission and don't offer explanations. It's a visual knockout punch that leaves the competition looking like plastic, remnants of a forgotten era. If you're not prepared to be the center of a psychological firestorm every time you park, then you're not built for this bike. This is the end of the road for the average rider. The 2026 Honda Fury ABS is a total sensory hijack that will make your old bike feel like a bicycle with training wheels. Ride Radar is signing off on this. If you want a motorcycle that acts as a social lubricant, look elsewhere. If you want a machine that acts as a social deterrent, a 700-pound piece of metal that says back off before you even turn the key, then the Fury is your only option. The streets are already dead. The Fury is just here to collect the debt. The era of the nice cruiser is officially extinct.